Coming up today on Mid-Morning, you are going to want to meet our Kylie's kid, McKinley.
Oh, she's so cute.
I know.
She is battling a rare condition, but still having a lot of fun in the hospital. We'll talk about that. Plus, a new research project launched to see if community gardening can lead to better health.
Walmart is trying out a new delivery service. If you're not home, they'll bring your stuff right in and even stock your fridge. We're looking for your feedback. And Monday can be, kind of blah.
Sure.
But
it's rainy,
not when it's
coldish.
National Lobster Day.
Oh.
Now we're up. Now we're ready. It doesn't matter if it's raining.
How would it be if you got somebody from Walmart coming into your house with a live lobster and just dropping it off?
I'm a fan of all of these things, but especially Smack Shack. Can it be a Smack Shack lobster?
Maybe they can work something out with the distribution. Smack Shack is here to help us celebrate. So we will see if the lobster really screams when you put it in the pot.
Oh, so many childhood memories.
The lobster does not scream. Mid-Morning is next. It does not.
The National Weather Service, some of the people there described it as going from black and white TV to high definition.
It's a big change.
It is a big change. And just to give you guys an idea, because a lot of people are saying, like, okay, satellites really don't impact me at all. We've been using them for about 40 years now here in the U.S. They help us a ton with forecasting because what they do is they actually take pictures of Earth and they help collect data that meteorologists then use for weather forecasts. And the more detailed and accurate that can get, the better that it helps us.
So usually when we see you or anybody else in the weather team in front of the satellite talking about the satellite, you kind of see this cloud line.
You can see the clouds, or you can see it's clear.
Yes.
And that's about
it.
I'm sure you can see more, but
we can see a little more,
but not much more, right?
It's hard because when you look at clouds, like a day like today, we've got low, gross clouds that are hanging out versus clouds higher in the atmosphere. So it'll help us distinguish with that. Also between smoke and ash that could come from
You can't really tell the difference right now.
That'll be a big difference when we have wildfires.
Exactly, for the western part of the U.S. But I want to show you a comparison from 1972, that iconic picture on the left, that was from Apollo 17, and the one on the right is what we have now. So it's still... Can gardening prevent cancer? The University of Colorado Boulder is launching a study to see if there are measurable health benefits of community gardening. Previous research that shows that gardeners report significantly higher ratings of mental and physical health. So they actually got a grant from the American Cancer Society, almost $1 million, to put together this 3-year trial study. And what they're doing is they're going in and putting 160 different community gardens in all around Denver. And some of the spots are little low-income areas too. So it'll be interesting to see what they find. But Esme, we know that there are these health benefits. This study is about finding the why behind it.
Right. I actually think the important piece of this is the community, because I think if you are out there getting to know your neighbors, working with your neighbors, not only do you have the benefit of this fabulous fresh produce, but in terms of a mental health benefit, it's enormous. And I think just those community binds and ties are so important in being established.
And I think, too, in those areas where maybe you have some higher crime rates or higher violence rates, getting to know your neighbors in that way could be beneficial in other ways. But, Allie, you can't ignore the health benefits that come from eating fresh produce, because they say that people who do garden eat a lot more healthy fruits and vegetables than people who don't.
Well, yeah, some of the research was saying that your serving size goes up. So the amount of servings that you have in a given day, if you garden, goes up by at least, I believe, 1 serving size. And I've done stories on some of the nonprofits here in the Twin Cities, in St. Paul and North Minneapolis, and even a community garden over in Uptown. And they have found that getting these vegetables, getting these options for fresh produce actually has increased some of the people in what they're eating, and maybe exposes them to even some vegetables that they've never even tried before.
Plus, it's fun. You garden, Jason. I
do
one
garden.
This year. It's a good experience outside.
You know, you're going to eat more for sure, because what else are you going to do with all this stuff?
But also, how about your kids, though? I mean,
it's good to get. Yeah, they're, Esme, you remember.
But they water the plants.
But I think these school gardens, for example, have been shown that when kids get involved and do the gardening themselves, then maybe you should make them do it.
So the why is, yes, there's so many chores for them to do. Mow the lawns, by the way. So the why of this is fascinating, because the veggies, okay, that's part of it, but that's not going to be, eating the veggies that you grow in your garden.
No, and this is not just grow it in your own garden.
It's the community garden. I think getting outside, especially in urban areas where people are, the research shows people aren't outside as much.
Right.
I think that could be huge. My only caution on this is that the research on food deserts, there used to be this idea that in the inner cities, people didn't have access to fresh produce.
And still don't.
And they still don't. There are these food deserts. They're not close to full-service grocery stores. They have corner shops.
They don't have produce as
Well, there's been an effort even here in Minneapolis to introduce produce into corner shops, and it's been, I hate to say it, but it's been a failure.
Yeah.
Because people are still not buying the produce, partially because of the cost of it, but partially because they just don't want to, they don't want it. They don't want to eat it. And so you say, okay, just providing access to community gardens, there's got to be more.
They have to be actually doing it, because I think if they're actually doing it, they're gardening.
You take
they
pride
get
in your
exposed to
work.
it, and then
Yeah.
maybe they
Yeah.
want to cook the food.
I think Esme's right, though.
Yeah.
The community aspect of it, that solves a lot of problems.
Absolutely.
So it's, what college was this from again, though?
University of Colorado
And we'll
Boulder.
have to see.
I'm highly skeptical of that school.
Well, the study's starting. We'll have to
Who
revisit
came,
this.
you know who
When-
came out of that school, Esme?
Yes, there you go.
And Frank Vassalero.
Oof.
How's your garden coming along, Kylie?
It died. It's dead now. That's okay.
Everybody's garden's looking good with all this rain.
Yeah, it really is.